G'day guys, how you going? Hope you're all doing very well. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'll be resuming my reviews very soon, but I thought I'll do a collection update. Now, you guys know how special South America is, so I thought why not share a South American collection update. So basically, you all know how much I love European cinema. I've got all these French films, all these Norwegian, Scandinavian, all those kinds of stuff, and it has been the main point of my collection for the last, I guess, 2 or 3 years. But then all of a sudden, South America has really made a name for themselves, and they're really producing some good stuff, and not many people talk about them at all. So as far as horror is concerned, countries like Argentina, Colombia, they're really rising up the ranks, and I'm really excited, and I think a lot more people need to know about South American cinema because it's really, really good, and unfortunately it often gets overlooked. Yes, the European stuff is very good, but I actually feel that South America is the biggest. I regard it as the sleeping giant of world cinema. So I'm going to start off with my whole collection. I've got a fair amount here. So we're going to start off with Brazil. I've only got one film from Brazil. This is probably the most famous film from there. That's City of God. This is an extremely disturbing film. It's about the favelas, basically the slums of Rio de Janeiro, the drug trade, and just some really disturbing scenes here. It's very hard viewing, but just be very careful. So where we go from Brazil to Argentina. Now this is Chinese Takeaway. This is the Argentinian release. This is a fantastic film. I really found it very, very funny and very uplifting as well, quite touching. So if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you go out and check it out. Ricardo Darín is a fantastic Argentinian actor, and he stars in this one. Another Ricardo Darín film, this is El Ora. This is one of the most atmospheric films I've seen in a very long time, certainly coming from South America. I'll be doing a review of it a little bit later, but another very memorable film from Darín. He plays another really good performance. It's El Ora. Reminded me of the Australian film The Hunter. This is Snuff 102, probably the most infamous Argentinian film, extremely, extremely nasty and sadistic. I warn you not to see this if you are just a casual fan. This is really hard stuff. It's harder than August Underground's Mortem, in my opinion. Snuff 102. Staying with Argentina, we go to Penumbra. This is from Adrian Garcia Bogliano. Very good, very promising director. He has some problems in his films, but he seems to be getting better. So that's Penumbra. Another horror film from the same director. This was his film before Penumbra, and this is Sudafrio. Not as good as Penumbra, but it was still pretty. It was pretty good in patches. A little bit silly, but it's not the worst horror film I've ever seen. This is actually filmed in La Plata, the same with Penumbra. La Plata is where I was staying in Argentina, so it's a very nice city. I liked it, and unfortunately they've gone through some floods recently, so fingers crossed everything goes well there. This is another Ricardo Darín film, and this is his most recognisable film, and probably the most recognisable film in Argentina, because it won an Academy Award. That's The Secret in Their Eyes. I actually thought this was great. It's very similar to films like Zodiac, Memories of Murder. I think Memories of Murder was better, but this is better than Zodiac in my opinion. I found it really good. So it's probably the most famous Argentinian film. And then the last of the Argentinian movies, this is an animated film called Boogie. This is a really unapologetic, sort of very rude, sexist, very violent animated film. As far as animation is concerned, this is very high impact. I had a lot of fun with it. It's dubbed in English, but Fontana Rosa, who is a very famous caricaturist, this is based on his work. So yeah, this is a really fun ride, but very, very offensive. So be careful. Now we go from Argentina to Colombia. This is detailing the drug trade, and this is Maria Full of Grace. Very interesting film. I didn't like the fact that they painted her as a hero. She was basically a drug mule, so in my eyes that is not a hero, but it's a very interesting film. It tells you about the dangers these women have to go through in order to import drugs from Colombia. Next one is a very, very impressive film called The Hidden Face. No one ever talks about this one. It's a different kind of horror movie, but I really, really enjoyed it, and it just shows you that Colombia are really the underrated country as far as horror is concerned. They're really bringing out some good stuff. So Colombia is a country to look out for, as well as Argentina. This is a movie I haven't seen, but I'm really looking forward to it. Wake Up and Die. It's supposed to be very, very brutal, kind of like a time travel movie, where a woman wakes up in bed with this mysterious man, and he basically kills her over and over, and she's got to find a way out of this time loop. So I'm really looking forward to this one, and I'll be doing a review as soon as possible. This is Satanas. This is based on the massacre that happened in Bogota in the 80s, I think. Basically, shows you 3 stories. They intertwine up until that fateful event. So, a very, very disturbing film. I really liked it. Probably the best Colombian film that I've seen. Another very memorable Colombian film, Greetings to the Devil. Very, very emotional. It does show you a real side to Colombia. Very unfortunate, but I really like this movie. It's an action film. Doesn't quite know whether it wants to be an action film or anti-violence or pro-violence, but still I found it very memorable and I would highly recommend it. It's Greetings to the Devil. Now we go to Chile. This one is called House in the Woods. I think it's House in the Woods. No. Hidden in the Woods, sorry. I can't read Spanish very well. Even though I've got such a huge connection to South America, my Spanish is still not very good. Hidden in the Woods. It's been a while since I've seen this very, very nasty film. It's extreme, so be careful going into it. But I really enjoyed it. It's just a very depressing, very downbeat, cruel film. Very hard to watch, but if you like your extreme cinema, Hidden in the Woods from Chile is one to look out for. Next up is Tony Manero. This is probably the most interesting Chilean film. It shows you how life was under the Pinochet regime, and it shows you a guy who was obsessed with John Travolta's character in Saturday Night Fever, Tony Manero, and he goes to an impersonation contest, and he will stop at nothing in order to win it. And if killing someone means winning it, then so be it. It's basically a psychopath serial killer who wants to be Tony Manero. And then last but not least, we go from Chile to Uruguay, and this is the Silent House. It's been remade in America. I haven't seen the remake. This was fantastic up until the ending. The ending ruined it as far as I'm concerned, but 95% of it was really creepy. It's a home sort of video camera style footage. If you don't like that kind of thing, don't go and see it, but as far as Uruguayan films are concerned, this is pretty good. It's the only Uruguayan film I've seen. Hopefully I see more in the future, but this is memorable. As I said, it was a really bad ending though. So that's my only film from Uruguay. Alright guys, that's it for the update. I hope you enjoyed this little video. As I said, South America, beautiful part of the world. I urge you all to go and see at least one country in that continent. But yeah, that was my collection. It's getting bigger and bigger, and I will continue to grow it because obviously it's so important to me. I'm wearing my Argentina jacket, as I proudly do. So yeah, until next time, keep watching movies, be happy, and I'll see you later.